welcome back to another episode of Gurukul Online Learning Network, Sitar Lessons. This is Nishit Dey. Hope you're doing well. So far, the lessons that we have learned, I'm really hoping that it has been helping you. And I also hope that so far you have done everything properly, because it is very important that everything is done in the absolute perfect way, especially because if you don't do it right, it's going to be very troublesome, and the learning process is going to be very difficult. But if you do it right, it's going to be just as simple. You should be seeing a pop-up that has Gurukul Online Learning Network's music department's email address. All you have to do is, if you have any questions or you want to share how the line is on your fingers, or any questions regarding sitar tuning or whatever we have done so far, you're more than welcome to drop your queries on the email address, and our team will be very happy to reply to you back. Having that said, so far, every lesson that we have had, since this is a very basic level so far, you are going to see that every lesson that we provide has a right hand movement, and then in another episode we have a left hand movement, and slowly but steadily we are going to have lessons that combine both, and that is where we'll be going to the intermediate stage. Moving on the last lesson we had a left hand practice, which was something like this was mostly to build up your middle finger line, which we are going to need very soon. If you have done that, the most frequent problems that occur at this stage is that the right hand tends to have a smaller action area, if I may call it. So it can be something like, not at all. The best way to learn this is if you slow down, really slow. Something like, you look towards your left first, and then when you're satisfied you look towards your right, and you make sure that the entire hand is extended when you're playing Ra, and it's like this. The mizraf should touch the skin over here when you're playing Da. Eventually we are going to learn how to control this movement, because this requires a lot of time and effort, but we are going to learn how to have similar impacts within a very short range, and that will help you to gain more speed and agility without having to waste so much energy. But for now, this is very important. Also, I would like to point out that you should be having some kind of a muscle pulling sensation around here. If you're having it here, that means you're doing it right. You shouldn't be facing any kind of weird kind of a pain. If you do, so it's highly recommended that you wait and you rest for a while. Take 2 days off, wait for it to heal, and then come back, because injuries are also very common, and we don't want injuries. Moving on, today's practice is going to be for the right hand. We are going to use the right hand doesn't have much to do, but then again it does have a lot. For example, the left hand is responsible for controlling the dynamics of the sound. It is changing notes, shifting, sliding, pulling, and whatnot. The right hand is mostly responsible for production of sound, but we also, even though we only have 2 strokes, which is Da and Ra, we also have combinations. We're going to learn one such combination today. It is a combination of 3. So Da Ra Da, Da Ra Da. 1 2 3, 1 2 3. This is how it is going to be. Allow me to demonstrate. Before I do, at this point, I would like to remind you again that we are not really looking for a very clean sound. We are looking for a loud sound, which we will make we will turn into a very beautiful sound later, just not right now. So the ratio, as I said earlier, the main tar, the main string, is going to absorb around 80% of your stroke, and the jor string, which is the brass or golden string, is going to absorb around 20%. This is what we follow for Gandhar Pancham sitar or Vilayat Khan style sitar. The people who play Kharaj Pancham, they usually prefer a sound which emphasizes mostly on the main string, but these lessons either way will help you no matter what sitar you have in your hand right now. So they'll allow me to demonstrate today's lesson. Da ra da da ra da, 1 2 3 1 2 3. So it's something like. So da ra da is done, and then you start with da again. So every time you finish, you begin with da. So you have 2 das in the beginning, one that marks the end and one that marks the beginning. Da ra da da ra da. Once you have that, once that is achieved, you could just achieve it by not touching the sa fret. You could just play it on the open string, and when you finally have it, when you have the movement done, you go from sa to sa and then back again using da ra da da ra da. Allow me to demonstrate. Again from sa to sa. Notice how I'm playing every note, 2 cycles of da ra da da da. You should be doing this for at least 5 minutes. And when you're confident, you can obviously, after 4 to 5 days, it is highly recommended that you do not have a very high tempo right in the very beginning. You would go up, and after 5 days or 4 days, you should be having a speed something like. At this point, you should have a combination of the previous practices that we have. By no means, before I tell you so, by no means are we deleting any of the lessons previously. Instead, we are going to add up every lesson, and by this time you should be having a solid 30-minute practice routine for every day, and it is very important that you let this portion heal. So I would recommend a 24 hours gap between every practice. So for example, if your routine is that you are going to sit for practice every day at 7 p.m., then I would recommend that you be done with your practice within 7:30 or 8 maximum, and then you sit at 7:30 the next day once again. Also, sometimes it happens that it is very important that we know that if you find that you are getting tired every 10 minutes, that 10 minutes portion is going to be considered as a warm-up period. Your actual practice is going to start from when you start getting tired. So for example, if your limit today is 10 minutes and after 10 minutes your hands get really tired, aim for 12. Chances are that you're going to see the next day that you start getting tired from 12 minutes. That's going to be your marker, and when you do that, you're going to push yourself to 15 minutes, and from the next day you're probably going to have the marker is going to be 15 minutes. If you're getting tired within 15 minutes, then that should be your marker. and you have to push yourself to 15, 17, 20, and then eventually you won't have a limit anymore, but your body needs to figure out how to do that. But for that, you need proper practice. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. See you again on the next class. Bye bye. Take care.